Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, we're recapping a 9-game Sunday in the NBA. A lot of more crazy performances and stuff happening around the league. We're going to recap everything that happened yesterday here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, doing all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It really helps a lot. I'll link to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're going to go in order, recapping every game from yesterday, starting with Nets and Spurs. Spurs take this one 118-107. Spurs are now 3-0. The Nets fall to 0-3. In this game, this is another one similar where this happened on Friday night with the Nets and Cavs, where the Nets didn't show any life in the first half. The Spurs were absolutely dominating this one. And then all of a sudden, the third quarter, they started to hoop. Cam Thomas put the team on his back. He was on fire in that second half, made it a really, really good game. But then the Spurs, Wemby and Dylan Harper really helped close this game out. Wemby, another amazing performance, 31, 14, 4, 3 steals, 6 blocks. He had that crazy sequence at the end of the first half with 2 straight blocks and then came down and hit a logo 3. I mean, doing ridiculous stuff right now. He has probably been the most important player to his team so far this season. Like, just the things he's been doing. Not only scoring, I feel like he's been really comfortable there. He got to the free throw line a lot yesterday. Shot 10 for 15 from the free throw line, hit 3 threes. Rebounding, he's been really great. I really love his passing ability. He's been finding his teammates a lot. And then we know what he does defensively. He had 9 stocks yesterday. And he's just been so impactful and important, to this team. And then you had Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper was incredible last night. Or, well, I guess afternoon because they played really early. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 8 for 11 from the field. It was a plus 33 in a game where they won by 11. He was a plus 33. He was amazing. I mean, I felt like he was making everything happen for this team, whether it was driving to the basket, getting easy one, whether it was finding guys like Wemby and finding his teammates. Defensively, he was locked in. He was just making so many amazing plays throughout the entirety of the game. Like, he didn't look like a rookie. He looked like he'd been in the league for 6, 7 years, and he was just like picking apart the Nets. It was amazing. I mean, he was the number 2 pick for a reason. I really like Dylan Harper. He moves and plays like he's going to be a very, very good player in this league. And man, I've been really impressed with him so far through his first couple games. But last night, he was just so incredible. Also, credit to Keldon Johnson. He had 19 and 6 with 2 threes off the bench. He brought a lot of energy as well. That's what he does. Devin Vassell hit 4 threes. Shapenny hit a couple threes. The 3-point shot finally started to fall for this San Antonio Spurs team. It's just a great way to come back and weather the storm, even though the Nets came back, took the lead at one point, weather the storm, and they really were able to win. Now they're 3-0 with a couple good wins on their belt. So, great game from the Spurs. They're so fun to watch, man. They're really, really fun, and I'm definitely going to be locked in to watching this team. For the Nets side, Cam Thomas gives you 40. He's finally found his shot in the last 2 games, so that's great. Still, I mean, you would like to see this team play better throughout the entirety of the game. It's not great that they wait until the third quarter to start actually playing ball. That would, that gives you a little bit of a disadvantage. But I mean, it's great because the first game against the Hornets and the first half against the Cavs, I thought, oh man, this team's already done with the season, And the good thing about this team is the last 2 games they've shown some life in that second half, and they've made their games competitive. They're not losing by 25. So, you take that. But you're going to see a lot of losses like that. Next, we had Celtics Pistons. Pistons ended up winning this one, 119-113. They're 2-1. Boston falls to 0-3. Detroit closed this game out. Even though they're in control for most of it, Boston made it a game. Cade gives you 25, 8 assists on 8 for 18 shooting. Jalen Duren had a really dominant performance. I was kind of the first 2 games, and even watching the early parts of this game, I was kind of like, dang, I want Jalen Duren to kind of like, establish himself, and he came out and did that. 24 points, 18 boards, 2 blocks, shot 12 for 13 from the free throw line. He was being really aggressive down low in the paint, finally found his rhythm. And then Asar Thompson was huge in this game. 21, 12, and 3, 2 steals, 7 for 16, but he got to the free throw line a lot. I mean, he makes so much impact on the game. Even though he can't shoot the ball and, offensively he might be a little bit limited, the rebounding, the defense, just brings so much. And last night he was super impactful, even being like a secondary ball handler, with Cade Cunningham. There was a couple times down in the fourth quarter where he got the ball and he was, put everyone in position. So yeah, and Tobias gives you 18 and 8. Still, the depth is still, not great. I mean, Even though I like the energy that Isaiah Stewart and Rod Hahn has been giving, they haven't just been able. I mean, Isaiah Stewart had a really good first game, but since then he hasn't been able to make a crazy amount of impact. And yeah, I mean their offense is still struggling. They shot 26% from three last night. The good thing is they got to the free throw line a lot and they dominated on the glass, so that really helped them a lot. But Detroit, it has been pretty, but I guess this is what the Pistons are, man. The Pistons are going to be a team that's just going to have to grind out wins, and so far they've done that through 2 games. And for Boston, you saw Jalen Brown go off with 41 points on 12 for 25 shooting. He's had some really bad turnovers, though, especially late in this game. I forgot what exactly it was, but he had a bad turnover late in the game. And he, I guess the Knicks, too, had a couple bad turnovers late in the game. So obviously, this is his first time being like the number one option at this level, and he has a lot on his plate. But yeah, I mean, you saw some highlights from Peyton Pritchard. Derek White is still, struggling to shoot the ball. He's shooting 6 for 18. I don't know what his shooting percentages are exactly on the year, but Derek White has been throwing them up there. You know, now in a different role where he's like the number two. I mean, it's definitely a big adjustment for him. And yeah, I mean, we know the Celtics 0-3. If you watch this entire channel this offseason and, some of my predictions, I knew, that I didn't think the Celtics were going to be good this year. I thought they were going to try to take a step back and maybe try to get a pick. But yeah, I mean, the good thing is they've been competitive every game. It's not like they've been getting blown out. They just don't have enough offensive firepower. They don't have a lot of continuity right now. They definitely look kind of like off beat a little bit, and they're playing a lot of guys that are, trying to figure themselves out in the league, like Josh Minot and Luka Garza, Baylor Scheinman getting minutes, like, Neemias Queta, Hugo Gonzalez starting now, which I like his energy and the defense he brings, but it's still, obviously, he's a rookie. So, yeah, they're still trying to figure themselves out. And, I mean, hey, go get that draft pick, man. Go get that draft pick. That's what I'm saying for Boston. Go get that pick, Brad Stevens, because it would do you wonder, especially with the way these prospects are looking right now. This draft looks like it's gonna be crazy. Next, we have Bucks Cavs. Cavs win this game 118-113. Both teams go to 2-1. Bucks first lost of the season. For Cleveland, a really solid game from them. You see Donovan Mitchell continuing to do his thing with 24 points. Not as explosive as the game that he had in the first two, but still putting the team on his back and doing his thing. Evan Mobley gives you 23, 8 and 6, 3 steals, 2 blocks. The funny thing about Evan Mobley is I would like to see him be more aggressive in the fourth quarter. Watching this fourth quarter, there was like 3 different times where he had an easy shot and he passed out of it to get a different shot. Like, I don't know. I just like to see him. It feels like Evan Mobley plays sometimes like he doesn't know how important he is to this team offensively. Defensively, no question. He's elite. But offensively, it kind of feels like there's some times where he feels like he's like the fourth or fifth guy, and he's like, "Oh, I got to give it to this guy." It's like, "No, Evan, like shoot the ball. We want you to shoot the ball." And then Sam Merrill. Sam Merrill has been incredible so far this year. 17 points, hit 4 threes. He's made some big plays, made some big defensive plays as well. He can hold his own there. Like he's been great. He's honestly, there's an argument he's been our second best player. I mean, he's been knocking out the three ball at a crazy rate. He's been, handling the ball a lot better. He can hold his own defensively. Like he's been so great for us, man. I love what Sam Merrill's been doing. We saw DeAndre Hunter make his debut and give you 16 points. When he just brings so much to our offensive game, even if he's not shooting the lights out, give you 25. Just having another guy that can handle the ball, another guy you feel comfortable with that can shoot, and another threat offensively. You could tell like change so much for this team. And then Lonzo Ball, 11, 6, and 5. I love his rebounding. He had a big rebound late in this fourth quarter that gave us an extra possession. And I love his rebounding. His passing's been good. And finally saw some shots go down. He had 2 threes last night. So, happy for that. But yeah, the Cavs getting a win. It hasn't been pretty. There's definitely things they need to clean up for sure. Especially, defensively, I don't love what I'm seeing. But, I mean, they're 2-1, got a good win against a Bucks team, and they're getting slightly healthier. Giannis gives you 40, 14, 9, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, Giannis is just going to do this the entire year, AJ Green was really good. He had 20 points. He had 4 threes. He had a couple big shots when they needed him to. And then, yeah, Ryan Rollins was solid in this one as well. 14.8 assists, 3 steals. Miles Turner gave you a couple shots. But, yeah, the bench didn't really provide too much. Gary Trent Jr. struggled to shoot in this one. And they just couldn't really make shots down the stretch. The ball was really like, give Giannis the ball and just hope he makes something. He did make some things happen. But also, they fouled him a lot. He got to the free throw line. He missed a couple free throws down in the fourth quarter. They also had a weird possession late. I don't know if I was tripping on it. I didn't tweet about it or anything. So they're down 3. Were they down 3 or down 2? No, they're down 3. with, were they down 3 or 2? They're down either 3 or 2 with about like on the last possession. They missed a shot. They come down, and the shot clock and game clock are close. I think it's 18 seconds on the game clock, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Klein's running down, and it looks like the Bucks bench is telling Torian Prince to foul. So Torian Prince fouls Evan Mobley with 15 seconds on the shot clock. I'm sorry, 15 seconds on the game clock, 12 seconds on the shot clock. They foul because they have one to give, but then them fouling resets the shot clock to 14. So now instead of a 3 second difference, you only had a 1 second difference, which means now you were forced to foul them. And instead of just playing it out and maybe getting the rebound and with 3 seconds left and calling a timeout to set up a play to tie the game and go to overtime, now you have to foul. Now you have to hope that they miss, and now you basically just lost possession. It was really weird execution late for the Bucks. I was sitting there. I was like, am I crazy? Because I wasn't listening to the broadcast on that one because I had multiple games on. And I was like, am I crazy for thinking that the Bucks? Why would they foul there? Like there was no reason to give that foul. Even if you're gonna give that foul, do it early. You know, or yeah, you have to do it in certain ways. Don't give it up right there because now you just lost 2 seconds for no reason. So yeah. Anyway, the Cavs ended up winning. Next we had Knicks Heat. Heat win this one 115-107. Heat are now 2-1. Knicks are 2-1. First loss of the season for the Knicks. The Miami Heat have learned how to play offense, everybody. The Miami Heat have learned that offense matters, and they're doing it. I mean, they are fun to watch. Norman Powell has been incredible to start this year. 29-7, 3 steals, shot 7 for 15, 3 for 6 and 3, 12 for 12 in the free throw line. He's really injected a lot into this offense. I mean, his shot making has been incredible. And honestly, I mean, before the year, I was talking and I was kind of like thinking and skeptical a little bit on like, can he continue what he did last year with the Clippers in Miami? It's such a different team. He's gonna have to really go off, and he's been doing it, man. He's been doing it. Like he just confirmed, like he's a shot maker and a bucket getter. So yeah, but then you also have Bam, even though he's not shooting the ball super well, gives you 19, 13, 3 assists. And then the others have really made an impact, especially Jaime Jaquez has found his rhythm back after having a really tough sophomore season. He got benched. I love the energy he's coming out with. 17, 5 and 5, 8 for 12 last night. He's been really aggressive getting to the basket. He's been finding his teammates. Simone Fontecchio has been a really nice fit. He hit 3 threes with 14 points. And this Heat team they're playing fast. They're playing with pace. They're throwing lobs. They're getting everybody involved. It's not like just one guy. It's like everybody's finding a rhythm and shooting the ball, and they're doing it, man. Like he have found a way to score the ball consistently. I never thought we'd see that, and we're seeing it. So yeah, Miami. If this is what they're gonna do this year, hey, I'm not all the way bought in, but like I'm definitely looking out. I'm definitely gonna be able to watch more Miami Heat basketball. And for the Knicks, probably had their worst shooting game so far. 38% for the field, 27% from three. Things were just not falling. OG was 4 for 13. Cat couldn't really find a rhythm. The bench didn't provide too much at all. And yeah, Jalen Brunson had to really do everything with 37, 5 and 7. This looked more like last year's Knicks, where it's just like Jalen Brunson get the ball and you make everything happen. And he kind of had to in this game because again, no one else could really find a way offensively. Not too worried. I mean, first loss, they've been looking so good. And they're gonna have games like this, where it's gonna have to go back to Jalen Brunson doing his thing because no one else can really make an impact. And they almost did it, but the Heat offense is just so great. I guess now that it didn't really matter. And the Heat made a lot of big shots. Andrew Wiggins hit a big 3-pointer. They had a couple lobs down the stretch that really, sealed this game because the Knicks were still in this game, even with everybody struggling. But it's just the Heat were able to make big plays down the stretch and score when it mattered most and win. Next, we had Hornets Wizards. Hornets ended up winning this one 139-113. This was a close game, but the Hornets pulled away late. And LaMelo Ball, what an incredible game. 38, 13, and 13. 13 for 25, 5 for 12 from 3. He was all over the place in this game. Whether it was, getting to the rim and getting that little push shot going. The 3-point shot was falling. He was getting to the free throw line. His playmaking was electric in this game. He made so many amazing passes and plays. Him and Miles Bridges were finding each other every time. He's finding his shooters and Colin Kneppel and them. And Tijon Salon, making a big shot late. And he was just incredible. I mean, he's been having a really good start to the year. That Philly game that they played on Saturday night, he was good. He did make a couple plays. I was like, okay, LaMelo, what are you doing down the stretch? But he made up for it in this one. Dominant, 13 assists to 4 turnovers on only 3 fouls. And man, like he's been really good. And the Hornets are 2-1 now. They've looked solid. Miles Bridges gave you 22 points. Conkendeppel has found his 3-point stroke. He hit 5 threes with 20 points. Colin Sexton gave you 20 points. Even Sion, I love what Sion James been doing so far this year. You know, if you go back, you can watch, go back. I made a video talking about 5 second round picks that are going to be steals. And I had talked about Sion James because I think the Hornets needed players like this. He was a guy that played at Duke. He already knows his role. He's going to defend. He's strong. He's going to play hard, and he can knock down some shots. And so far, he's been doing that exact thing, you know. Like, he's been playing a lot of it. He's basically dang near been their sixth man, you know, because he just comes in the game. His 3-point shots have fallen. He defends. He makes the right pass. He plays really hard. And that's what the Hornets need out of guys like that, you know. And like Musa Diabate does the same thing. I mean, 12 and 10, 4 offensive boards. He plays so hard, you know, and he's become a really good player for the Hornets. And yeah, man, Charlotte's been fun. 2-1. Even their one loss was a close game against a good team. And so, like, hey, even without Brandon Miller, they've been doing it. And for the Wizards, tough loss for them. Keyshawn George, unfortunately, struggled in this one. He fouled out late. It was a tough game for him. You did see, though, CJ McCollum finally found a rhythm. He really struggled the first 2 games. He gave you 24 in this one. Alex Sarr looked good with 21 points, 5 assists, 3 blocks. He's been solid so far to start the year. Trey Johnson was getting buckets off the bench. But yeah, Washington just couldn't really defend. They shot 29% from 3. Lost on the rebounding battle, lost the turnover battle. And yeah, it was a tough night for the Wizards. You know, they just couldn't do anything to stop LaMelo, really. But yeah, shout out to the Hornets for getting that W. Next, we have Pacers Timberwolves. Timberwolves win this one 114-110. They're 2-1. The Pacers now drop to 0-3. Close game. Anthony Edwards unfortunately leaves this game early with a hamstring injury, but the Timberwolves end up finding a way to win. And I was talking about in the first 2 games, like I didn't love the depth of Minnesota. They just weren't really providing much. And so far in this game, they provided enough to win. You know, Julius Randle gave you 31, 4, and 6. He's been solid so far to start the year. I like his aggressiveness down the stretch. Rudy Gobert gives you 14 and 18. Dante DiVincenzo hit a couple threes and made some plays down the stretch. That really helped. Yeah, Naz Reid finally found his rhythm with 16 and 10. Maybe that is going to wake him up a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't a pretty game, but the Timberwolves got stops late. And then Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, I feel like, made a couple big shots down the stretch. They were able to take this W for Indiana. Pascal gives you 33, 10, and 8. He was incredible tonight. Aaron Nesmith hits a couple threes. You even got like Ray J. Dennis closed out this game because he was just 12 points, 5 assists, 5 stocks. He was playing hard and making things happen. But ultimately, yeah, the Pacers, I mean, they've been going through so many injuries. You know, no Halliburton, no McConnell, no Nemhard, no Mathurin. Like, it's been really rough. You know, the injury bug has really hit them hard to start this year. They're quickly at 0-3. I had faith in the Pacers this year. I still thought they were going to be a playoff team. I still thought they were going to be really good. And so far, I mean, they can. They still have, 79 games left to play. And they're so injured right now. But it's been tough, man. I mean, they just haven't been able to consistently put guys on the court. They've had to shuffle around these different lineups and stuff. Like last night, Pascal Siakam started at the 3 because they had to have Jay Huff and Isaiah Jackson. Ben Shepherd was their starting point guard, and he's not really a point guard. It's been really rough injury-wise. But they're still able to close. I mean, this game was still close. You know, they still were really in this game. They could have made 1 or 2 more shots to win this game. So, you know, you have faith a little bit that the Pacers, eventually those games will go to them. So yeah, next we had Raptors, Mavericks. Mavs win this one 139-129. They get their first win of the season. Raptors dropped to 1-2. For Dallas, this looked so much better than what the first 2 games looked like. I mean, the first 2 games had no energy. There was no movement. Nobody was really making anything happen. This game, they found it. You know, AD gives you 25, 10, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was solid, 11, 14 shooting. Cooper Flag came out and found his rhythm. 22, 4, and 4, a nasty and 1, 8 for 14. He was getting to his bag. He looked really a lot more comfortable out there than he did in the first 2 games. He was really good at attacking the rim, getting to the basket. It just looked a lot more confident in this one. Klay Thompson hit a couple more shots. PJ Washington, I feel like, has been really good so far this year. He gave you 17, 7, and 5 last night. And then the bench, the first 2 games, the bench didn't really do anything. And now in this game, D'Lo gives you 24, 5, and 6 with 3 steals and 8 for 18 shooting. He was getting to the free throw line. He was confident knocking down his shot. He was finding his teammates. You know, he was really good. And then Max Christie gives you 17 points and hit 3 threes. His shot making was great. Najee Marshall give you 12 and 6. You know, being aggressive, getting to the paint. So yeah, I mean, the bench provided a lot. This team looked a lot better. They looked a lot more confident. They shot 58% from the field in this game, and were able to get the W. For the Raptors, tough loss. They didn't look great yesterday. Scotty did 33, 11, and 6. Great to see that. Bi was solid, but yeah, I mean, quickly struggled to shoot. RJ was solid. The bench was okay. I mean, Mamu did his thing, but yeah, I mean, they were forcing turnovers. They just couldn't down. The paint defense wasn't there. They couldn't really do anything about D'Lo and the bench coming in and making an impact. They just looked kind of more sluggish in this game. They looked like they couldn't really find an offensive rhythm in this game. Even though the first two games they looked really good, this game they just couldn't really find an offensive rhythm. I felt like they just were not really there, and then defensively they weren't really locked in as well. It was kind of like a sluggish game. I felt like for Toronto, and the Mavericks take advantage of it and finally get a W. Next, we have Blazers Clippers. Clippers win this one 114 to 107. Clippers are 2-1. Blazers fall to 1-2. The Clips, really good win. It was a tough game. I mean, Portland, their defensively, they were able to stay in that game, but Kawhi Leonard closed this game out. 30-10. He's been getting better and better as time has gone on. That mid-range jumper has been pure. He had 4 threes in this one as well. He looked really confident out there, really good. It hit big shots to help fend off this team. Harden gives you 26 and 13, just playmaking out of his mind, doing his thing. Zubac was dominant as well with 21 and 8. And then John Collins bring a lot of energy with 16 and 6 on 7 for 8 shooting off the bench. So yeah, this Clipper team, everybody was out there making an impact besides Bogdan Bogdanovic. It's been a struggle for him. But the bench, I liked what they did. John Collins hitting shots, providing energy, gritty. Dick Batum got a chase down block. Like Nick Batum, it's insane. He can still be such an impactful player. Brook Lopez had 3 blocks in this game off the bench as well. I loved his rim protection. And then Chris Paul had a couple threes in that fourth quarter too. So like everybody made an impact at some point in this game. They shot 55% for the field. And after that blowout loss to Utah on opening night, it looks like they finally have like locked in and found a rhythm, and things have been going well for that team. And then for the Blazers, tough loss. Defensively they're still really good. It's just the thing that makes you not put them so high, the reality you have to think about with the Blazers is that they're still a work in progress offensively. Like last night was one of those nights where offensively things were just not working. They shot 37% from the field, 26% from three. Only 2 players shot 50% or better from the field, and those guys only shot 50%. Like Denny was 7 for 16, Juwan Kamara was 2 for 8, Shane Sharp was 7 for 24, Drew Holiday was 7 for 14, Jeremy Grant 4 for 10, Blake Wesley 2 for 7. Like it just things were not falling. The offense wasn't really flowing. Um, at some point, they just were chucking up shots, hoping they go in, and they just weren't going in. Offensively, they looked really out of sorts. But they're going to be able to stay in games because their defense is just so great. But the reality is, offensively, they're still a work in progress, which is fine. They're still a very young team trying to figure it out. They had good moments, like Denny had a really good first half. Drew Holiday, I like what he's been doing over there. Jimmy Grant had a couple shots off the bench, and it sparked something, but they just couldn't really consistently go through it, And the fourth quarter, it was really tough for them to hit some shots. So, it's still a work in progress for them, but shout out to the Clippers for getting the W. And finally, we have Lakers Kings. The Lakers win this one 127 to 120. Austin Reaves. Whoa. Earlier that day, we found out that Luka Doncic is going to miss a week. And that was like, oh no, here go the Lakers. But Austin Reaves said, I got us. I got us, guys. And put on his best 77 impression. Because what a game. 51, 11, and 9. Yes, Austin Reaves put up 51, 11, and 9. 12 for 22 shooting, 6 for 10 from 3, 21 for 22 from the free throw line. He was amazing. I mean, he was able to get to any spot he wanted to. His playmaking was there. He was hitting his threes. He got to the free throw line, put pressure on the rim. Like, he was just played a perfect game. Incredible, Austin Reaves. You also saw DeAndre Ayton show up with 22 and 15. He had a couple big shots. He had one play where he missed a shot, got his own rebound, and dunked it back in. And I was like, whoa, DeAndre Ayton doing that? Rui Hachimura gave you some good minutes. Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart brought some energy in this game. And the Lakers found a way to win. Found a way to win with Austin Reaves putting his cape on and saying, I got us team. We know he's up for a contract extension after this year. We know how important he's going to be to this Laker team. And so far, it took a little bit to find his rhythm. But last game, I really liked what I saw from him playing off of Luka. And now he's going to do things like this when he's number one. Man, like he might be an all-star this year. Like, oh my God. For the Kings, tough loss. Defensively, they just are not good, especially the interior defense. Like Domantas Sabonis, I think he's a really good offensive player. He's a great big. He's one of the better, more skilled bigs in the league. He can rebound like crazy. He can pass the ball. Like offensively, he's so impactful. But defensively, man, there was a lot of times in this game where I was just like, bro, where are you at, man? Like, what are you doing? And we already know, I mean, he's also coming off an injury. Their big man depth behind him. They played three other centers, and all three of those centers couldn't play more than a couple minutes because they just couldn't do anything either. It was really rough, you know. Zach has been really good so far to start. He had 32 last night. Dennis Schroeder, I like what he's brought to this team. 18 to 12 assists. He's brought energy. He's brought playmaking, a guy that can kind of get everybody set, which is really, really good. Malik Monk has been giving good energy. Russell Westbrook had a really good game last night with 18, 6, and 6, and 4 3-pointers made. But again, if you can't, you can score as much as they want. But if you can't stop anybody, you can't stop Austin Reaves and giving you 50, it's gonna be tough to win. That's what I said before the season. I was like, the Kings, I don't believe in them because they can score a lot. They have guys I like that can get buckets. But if you can't stop anybody, then it doesn't matter. And that's what happened last night. The Kings just couldn't stop anybody. The Lakers were just walking to the rim at one point and getting just dunk after dunk after layup after layup after dunk. And I was like, man, like this is tough to watch defensively. But shout out to Austin Reaves for a ridiculous game. And yeah, it's gonna be it for today. We got a more packed schedule Monday night. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, once again, if you want to stick around and learn, keep up with the league, you know, recaps, player performances, all that type of stuff, this is the channel to be at. And yeah, it's gonna be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn on notifications, doing all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.